I get a Southern accent when I drink because you get a
I
Southern
know.
accent when you drink.
I
And I
know.
started like actually drinking around you. So I
I
drink and
know.
I get a Southern accent. And I, for context, am not from the South.
So, I my impact. Hi everyone, welcome to Bimbo Book Club.
I am Bertrude and that is Jade.
Hi guys. So, how have you been?
I've been so good. I did nothing this week. I came hot off the heels of like crazy week and then I did nothing. I think. Oh, I had a date. It went well.
Do I know about this?
I don't think so. I can give you more details afterwards.
Yeah, we can talk off pod.
Yeah, but I had a date. It went well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Congrats.
Thanks. It was a morning date.
Wow.
I know. I got up early at like 11.
Was it like a brunch date or was it like,
It was like coffee walk around farmers market.
oh, that is cute.
Yeah, and then it was right off of our downtown, which is really cute. There's like a little comic book
Mm-hmm.
store, stuff like that. So it was just kind of like walking and
That's
talking. I
cute.
only had like an hour, so it was just like a hey, get to know you, and then
Yeah.
you know we'll do
Oh,
it again,
that's
I'm sure.
so
But
cute. I
yeah,
love, I love.
it was a good time. So
Love it.
there you go. But I will say, very much enjoyed the state. Very much enjoyed all of it. But they should
Okay.
invent a first date where you don't have to meet anyone new.
It, it, I mean, yes, I do
Yeah,
agree with you, but
yeah.
I am also like having a hard time understanding what that means.
I just don't want to meet new people, but I want to be loved.
So you just want to date one of your friends.
I would, but Maddie has that boyfriend Eddie. So I'm like, what are my options?
True.
You're not going on any first dates. What have you been up to?
Really nothing either. I don't think I did anything of note. I haven't been sleeping.
Oh my God, same. Tell me about that.
I keep waking up at 3 a.m. every night and not going back to sleep until like 5:30. And then at that point, I need to be waking up like around 7 or 7:30. And I
Mhm.
can't because I've been awake for 3 hours in the middle of the night. So I don't know what's happening, honestly.
I don't either. I get the same thing, but mine is like I wake up from like panic attacks in my sleep and then I'm like
Yeah.
hyperventilating,
Yeah.
assuming that's not you, but
No, not fully because I am highly medicated. Um,
okay,
however,
flex.
however, I have been having like very vivid dreams, and I think that's part of it. And they've been like very disturbing and very weird. So I think that that's part of it. So I do wake up in sort of just like an existential crisis mode. So it's not like a panic attack, but it's just like I wake up and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna die one day, you know?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
everything
sure.
is finite.
That
Okay.
makes it really hard to go back to sleep.
Yeah, grappling with the big questions. It's annoying those don't hit you at like 2 p.m. It's
I
always like
know.
3 a.m.
I'm kind of glad they don't hit me at 2 p.m. anymore because before I got medicated, they were hitting me at 2 p.m. and I was literally laying in the middle of my floor at 2 p.m., rocking back and forth, screaming and crying out into the void.
Yeah, but to be fair, that was like 24/7. Like that wasn't like a 2 p.m. exclusive, you know?
True, but 2 p.m. always hit the worst for some reason. I
Oh,
don't know
T.
why.
Okay. Trigger warning, 2 p.m.
Trigger warning 2 p.m., 3 a.m. Those are my witching hours for sure.
Oh my God, T. Witching hour.
Mm. Speaking of witching hour, let's take a journey into the Appalachian Mountains.
Ooh.
So, for those of you who don't know, I am from Central Appalachia. I'm from this really, really itty bitty tiny town called Coburn. Shout out.
What?
It's in Wise County, Virginia. But when I say Virginia, I've actually stopped saying Virginia when I tell people where I'm from because it's not Virginia. Like it is
It's on the
significantly
cusp.
closer to it's a cusp. It's a Tennessee rising Kentucky moon.
Unfortunately, knowing your hometown, that's kind of dead on.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, I grew up there, lived there until I was 18, so I have a lot of experience. I also lived in Wise County when this movie was filming there. So yeah, am I have a uniquely I am
Are you
what am I trying
uniquely
to say?
qualified?
That's what I'm trying to say. I am uniquely qualified to talk about this movie, talk about what is accurate to Appalachia, what is not accurate to Appalachia, and just generally talk about it and answer all your questions because I'm sure you have a lot.
Oh, I do have one right
Okay.
off the bat.
Okay.
Not related to this movie in the slightest. What
Okay.
does wood booger mean? Because I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. It did
I
not
know
come
it.
up.
They took it down, I think. So it used to be up there when I was in high school because we would all look it up all the time. But if I remember correctly, it is essentially you're having sex in the woods and then the like kind of like
I'm not as scandalized by that as I think I thought I would be. Also, we haven't said the name of this fucking movie yet.
oh, the movie's called Big Stone Gap. If you were curious.
Which, by the way, is a real name for somewhere. I would have never guessed that was
Mm-hmm.
the. I would have been like, this fucking Stars Hollow ass bullshit.
Nope. Big Stone Gap is a real place.
That name goes hard.
I know. We have actually a lot of good names. So we have Big Stone Gap, we have Appalachia, we have Coburn, we have Wise, which that one's kind of boring.
Wah, wah.
And then we have Pound, literally Pound Town.
Let's go to Pound Town, girl. P Town.
Ah, P Town, Queen, let's go to P Town. And people who are from Pound, they say, like, I'm from the LB.
Oh, that's kind of cunty.
I know. I loved
I
it.
love that. I kind of love that.
I loved
I'm
it. It
from
was
the
always
LB.
really fun. Like, I'm from the LB.
I will say, like, I live in the Inland Empire. Derogatory. I'm not
Mhm.
thrilled about it, but being like, oh yeah, I'm in the IE. Like, that's the only
Yeah.
kind of cool part that comes. Like, yeah, we got an abbreviation.
So we took a look at the movie Big Stone Gap, which was written and directed by Adriana Trigiani. She is actually from Big Stone Gap, grew up there, lived there her whole childhood. Apparently, I have not read any of her books, and I haven't read this one either. But apparently, they're really, really good, and I really want to read this one because apparently the books are
A lot better.
like really solid. The
Cool.
movie, here's what I'll say. I'm not going to go in too hard today because I think it was really good exposure. It brought a lot to the town of Big Stone Gap, like literally out of the whole county. Like Big Stone looks the best and is thriving the best because if you know anything about like this region that I am from, it's tough. Like coal was the main industry, and like obviously that doesn't really happen anymore. Which good, but also bad.
Bad. How astute.
I just Big Stone Gap really did their big one. They really popped off after this movie. So like no shade. There are some things I want to discuss though. We are going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to talk about all of it because what is watching a movie without critiquing it a little bit? So I just want to disclaim that like I'm not trying to like bash it or make fun of it. I'm also not making fun of where I'm from. I have I have an appreciation for where I'm from. It no longer serves me and I could never live there again. However, I have an appreciation for it.
Appreciate the hell out of it. Wouldn't go 30 miles near it in a radiation suit, but
No.
so grateful. That's so me with my hometown. But it's also like the hometown rules of
Yeah,
I'm gonna shit on it all I want. The second someone not from there tries to come for it, oh hey,
exactly.
Patriot.
Exactly.
I may make fun of this movie, not to a offensive extent, but it's a little bit of a corny movie. I don't think
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it's corny as hell. I mean, if living in a small town was actually like this movie, we would all move to a small town tomorrow. But
Exactly. It really romanticizes the hell out of Wise County in a way that does not exist. And maybe the 70s were better, but I don't think so, honey.
that's a whole other thing. I didn't know this show was set in the 70s. This little film was set in the 70s until halfway through,
Yep.
until a certain weird fucking cameo.
Yep. We're going to talk a lot about that cameo. That's mainly what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
Okay. So this movie, it came out in 2016, I think. LOL didn't write that
2014.
down. 2014. It stars Ashley Judd, Patrick Wilson, Whoopi Goldberg. Those are like the three main people.
Jenna Elfman,
Jenna Elfman.
the dad from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
That one lady who was an elderly home worker in the episode of Good Luck Charlie where Teddy breaks her uncle
Yep.
out of the elderly home and he shows his butt to a jumbotron at the baseball
I
game.
I was like, she looks so familiar. That's where I know her from.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is my
Okay.
superpower. Put on any episode of Criminal Minds. I'll tell you what
Yeah.
episode of Grey's Anatomy they were on.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
it's.
wild.
I wish I could do something useful, but I
No,
mean,
that's useful because I can't do that because I
yeah.
struggle with actors' names.
I
Um,
oh, in all of my notes, he is referred to as Anna Kendrick's dad. So I don't know this character's name, but
wait,
whoever
who is this?
the gay
Oh, he was in Pitch
one,
Perfect.
he's Anna Kendrick's dad.
Oh my God. Why didn't
Yeah,
I know that?
because
Tom
he's
Benjamin
not a
Hickey. I
big
love him.
part of the movie
Oh, okay.
at
Okay.
all.
Well, there's
He
that.
has like two scenes,
Well, there's
three.
that. Okay, so I'll give a brief plot overview. Go watch the movie if you want. You can rent it on Amazon. It used to be on Netflix, but I don't think it is anymore.
It'll come back around though.
It'll
It
come back
definitely
around.
will have its
I,
moment.
don't you don't have to spend your money on it. It was like $3, but do what you feel. Do what you
Do what
feel.
you feel.
But I'm just going to give you a brief plot overview. In a small town nestled in the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia, self proclaimed spinster Ave Maria Mulligan finds her life shaken up and forever changed after learning a long buried family secret.
Oh yeah, there is a secret. Yeah, I mean that's the first couple minutes.
Yeah. There. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say right off the bat. One of my biggest critiques of this movie is that I think every detail from the book was tried to shove into the plot of the
Oh,
film. And
okay.
I haven't read the book. I haven't read the book. I would love to. I'm going too soon. I have a feeling that things make a lot more sense in the book because it's longer. And I think everything was just so rushed because it was like, whoa, this is an
Yeah.
hour and 45 minutes. The book is probably, long as books are.
It's like Cat in the Hat level long.
Yeah, it's fucking long. It's like 50 pages.
God damn.
God damn.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I assumed it was based on someone's like experience. I didn't
Hmm.
look it up. That makes a lot of sense about
Yeah.
why so much and so many characters
Hmm.
were shoved in there because there are answers
Yes.
that may not exist out there that I desperately want and desperately need.
Yes. And they're probably in the book somewhere, is what
Mhm.
I will tell you.
Word.
But yeah, I just imagine that it was really hard to condense it. And I'm not like, it is definitely hard to make a book a screenplay. Like, I'm not saying it's the
Yes.
easiest thing in the world, especially when you wrote the book, because you're like, these are all my babies. I don't want to kill my babies at
Right.
all. And so
Killing your babies? I thought it was killing your darlings.
I think it is. I think it is. Oh God.
Not the baby murder advocacy. If they tell you why that one motherfucker is dressed like a blind runner the whole movie, will you let me know?
Why he's in a safety vest the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that explained in the movie or is he just wearing a safety vest the
I
whole
don't think
time?
it's explained in the movie. The only time it makes sense is when they're rescuing miners from like the mine explosion. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense because y'all are
Yeah.
like coming in and helping people. But also, why are you helping people? Aren't you like a lawyer or something?
Or
And then
was he also
also,
the mayor?
maybe, but then why did he have the will?
Well, I think like the mayor of my town had two jobs. He was like he had a construction company and then he was also the mayor because being
Oh,
the mayor in
okay.
a small town isn't like a full-time duty.
Okay, maybe that was it. See, you know more than me. Um,
Barely. Well, I do think in Hollywood, I feel like that is what like Gilmore Girls started at. Like this show or this
mhm,
movie could have turned into something like Gilmore Girls, shot on Warner Brothers backlot in like a small little
mhm.
whatever. There's no way that writer director's name, what'd you say it was?
Adriana.
Yeah, Adriana was like, just I want to do it in Big Stone Gap, and they were like, fine. Like that's something she probably had to fight for and push for.
Mhm,
But in terms of like putting resources back into your community, shit like that, I think that was a really good move because I
mhm.
kept thinking this movie has a lot of like Gilmore Girls energy in the sense of like small town, everyone knows everyone, vibes like that.
Yeah.
And I just think that would have been the natural reaction is to put it somewhere, a setting like
Yeah.
that, but just having it be this basic town. It's a cute
Mhm,
town, but it's basic. Like
mhm.
it added to the
Yeah.
story that they were telling out there, and I think that's fun that she put in the
Yeah.
effort to get it in her hometown.
Exactly. I think it's really cute. And yeah, it was really cool. Like, I mean, Whoopi literally lived in Wise County for the duration of filming, and people would
Good for
see her
her.
at the Mexican restaurant. Like, it was really just a fun time. Like, the energy, there was a lot of turmoil going on in here, if you could even imagine. But I just remember, like, the energy was so just like alive and vibrant when this was happening because people were actually excited about something. And it's very small town vibes, but I mean, it literally was like, I mean, everyone was just like, oh my God, did you see them filming? Oh my God, wow. Like,
Wow.
this is happening over here. This is happening over here. And yeah, it's just really cool. It's just really cool. Okay. So let's chat about this movie.
Can we start with costumes?
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all, I think it's really brave of them to give Helen Keller a Depop account. I think to have her costume an entire movie with that Depop account
Mm-hmm.
gives me some concern.
Absolutely.
Okay, my I have one specific favorite costume trend from this movie,
Okay. Give it to me.
and it's more of a character trend, but it really comes out in costuming. Throughout the movie, Anna Kendrick's dad, apologies, Anna Kendrick's dad from Pitch Perfect, comes out as gay, and no sign, playing it so straight, playing mask man. He gets outed, gets a little fruity, and then in the last scene is wearing the gayest fucking turtleneck. It's like red. Like I would be surprised to see like James Charles wearing that.
Speaking of James Charles, have you seen this video of him going around the internet right now of him falling down his stairs?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. God, the trifecta of James Charles videos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Falling down the stairs and fucking singing a
Bring me
slave
a
hymn on the
little
walk of fame.
water now. Bring me a little water, seal me.
Girl, give me your thoughts on the costumes as well, because
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. So, once again, I think they spent 95% of the budget. I looked it up. The budget was 3.5 million, which
okay.
is pretty low budget.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that most of that did not go to Ashley Judd, Patrick Wilson, Whoopi Goldberg. Probably
Jane.
smaller
Oh, she wasn't a
to
big name yet, though.
who?
Jane Krakowski.
Oh, yeah, she probably, but she wasn't in it that much. So I feel like her, Jenna Elfman probably got like
Yeah.
John Benjamin Hickey probably got paid pretty well too because he's pretty. I don't know. There's just like a huge ensemble cast, and they're all pretty famous. So like,
Yeah.
I don't think 3.5 million goes that far when you're paying big talent like that
No.
because I know how much these bitches get paid. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It makes you
Yeah.
fucking upset. I know that like they probably did this as more of a passion. They probably weren't expecting to get like the big bucks, but like they have to be paid at least what they
Mm-hmm.
like what maybe not what they typically get. That's not what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Like
No, but they're
they
not
have
going to
to be
do it for
paid.
nothing. They still make bank. They're still
They're
very
still
wealthy
making
people.
bank.
They still, there's an
Exactly.
expectation
Exactly. Because
for what they will
then
get
why
paid.
would they not go do another project other than if they really just wanted to do this one? But like some of them don't have a connection. Like Ashley Judd, she's from Kentucky. So it kind of makes sense. Patrick Wilson's family is actually from Big
Mm-hmm.
Stone Gap. So
His family's
that,
in the movie.
oh, they are. Yeah.
His dad is next to him in the last scene, they said.
Yes. Yes. You're
Yeah.
right. Um, so
I read the
like,
trivia on IMDb. That was the extent of my research.
so like he makes sense. Ashley Judd makes sense. Um, I don't really think anybody else had like a personal connection to the area, but I mean, yeah, they're still getting paid the big bucks. So I think that's the first issue. So they had a very limited costume budget. And I think when you're doing a period piece, you really can't just not have a costume budget. Um, and you can still be like, I personally think anyone can be thrifty and
Mm-hmm.
get anything done at Goodwill. Like, whatever. I'm a thrifty bitch. You can get it done at Goodwill. But I just feel like there was not even like the research. There was not
No.
even like consistency. It all felt very like at different points
This
in the
wasn't even
70s.
it wasn't a period. It wasn't even a cramp. Like it wasn't there was no like contact. I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
period piece until fucking Elizabeth Taylor showed up. That's when
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh wait, is this not set in like 2014?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just thought they all had like cute aesthetic old cars, but they were dressing and I thought Ashley Judd had a fucking ugly hairpiece. And she did, but I didn't
Oh my
realize the
God.
reason for Ashley Judd's ugly fucking hairpiece until I realized it was a goddamn period piece.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just kept putting bows on her, which I mean, I know I wasn't alive in the 70s, but like I don't feel like people were just wearing bows at 40 years old. Um, Also, I remember this because fun fact, I sent in my picture and everything to be in the film,
Absolutely.
and there was something going on. I think my family was going to be out of town the day that we got, me and my sisters got like assigned to be extras. And so we didn't get to do it, unfortunately, which sucks because
She
that
was
would have been
supposed to be in
so
the
iconic.
video.
I was supposed to be in the video, but I remember, and if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, people from back home who watch this, which is probably very few people.
Hi,
Um,
baby Bray. Maybe.
so
She's
tell
too
me
cool
if
for
I'm
us.
misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, yes, no, this is 100% sure. Um, you, as an extra, you had to have period piece costume. Like you had to bring in your own clothes.
Okay. Costuming was
Mm-hmm.
also provided. There is a diva at the end who is in a shawl while they are
Mm-hmm.
singing. Everyone else is in like hit clothes, and she is in like crushed velvet white shawl. And I was like, they had to
Absolutely.
bring their own costumes for this.
Yup, yup. And if you noticed in the scene where they are decorating the Christmas tree, there's like an older woman and she has on like one of those very trendy like scarves that like you just tie like this and it has like kind of some tinsel
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Like it is so 2015, 2014. And I'm like, how did they let that get into the movie? But regardless, I just think the costuming was a problem. I think it's unfortunately, I think it's what cheapened the movie as a whole. Not that like it's supposed to be, very like like melodramatic and like
Yeah.
cute and heartwarming and like rom-commy, but like I do think something you can't skimp on is costuming, especially when you're doing a period piece. So that is my main problem. Well,
It
besides the like get stuffing all of the characters and all the plot
mhm.
into an hour and 45 minutes, I think the other biggest problem is that. And most of the set decoration was okay. There were a few
Yeah.
times that it was like
Little modern.
a little modern. Like I noticed in the drugstore, there was some like CoverGirl blush that's like very modern, the one that's like swirled with the white
Oh yeah.
to give you like a highlight shimmer. And I was like, oh, they were not selling that back in the
No.
70s. One more thing I wanted to note and I wanted to ask you about is did you notice how everyone says Murray?
Murray. That's all of my notes about this have Murry. They're gonna get murrayed.
Okay, that's the thing though. They must have just had a dialect coach that was like,
It was not.
we're gonna all consistently do this. But
Yeah.
have you like you've heard me when my accent fully comes out, like when I've been
Yes.
drinking?
Yes.
I've never said a word like that. I was trying to like say it how I would say it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who would say Murray. Cause if anything, I feel like people from back home would be like Mary, like
It's
Mary,
more like
Mary,
it's more
Mary,
nasally in
Mary,
there. Yeah.
Mary.
That was a
Anyway,
weird choice.
that was a weird choice. And it wouldn't be as big of a deal if they didn't say it 15 billion times.
Oh my god. And this fucking marriage storyline in and of itself, I can't wrap my head around.
No,
Like
I
I
know.
I couldn't even keep up, but I knew I was on Jane Krakowski's side, which is not the side you're supposed to be on.
Well, yes, I'm hoping that my guess is the in the book they have a lot more flirtation throughout the entire
Yes.
thing and there's a lot more like direct flirtation so that when he's like I think you should marry me.
That was crazy.
I think maybe it makes more sense in the context of the book, but it felt so out of left field. And I was like, I'm on her side. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was wild. And then
Yeah.
after that, she's like, I'm not gonna marry you. And then Jane Krakowski's like, hey, I know it's been 3 days. I got married to someone else.
Yeah,
And then she's
it
like,
all went
okay,
so
maybe I'll get
fast.
married. And then they do get married. I don't know. Or they start, and then it's interrupted by her Italian secret father and aunt showing up. Y'all, this movie is fucking crazy. The secret, by the way, is that her dad was not her dad. That's why he hated her.
hmm
Her dad was
hmm
an Italian man.
hmm
And then this entire town surprises her with her father
With her father.
in front of the whole town. If anyone does anything close to that to me, the first thing I'm doing is ripping out their throat. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That is my nightmare
Yeah.
in front of everyone. Hey, have this big emotional moment. I'm lying about my birthday right now because my nightmare is someone singing me happy birthday at work. I could not
Did I miss your
imagine.
birthday?
No, it's not yet.
Wait, it's June.
Bleep it if you're going to say it because people from work watch this,
Oh, okay. I
mama.
won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, that was a whole tangent that just like when Jade read the description and was like, this is like one of fucking, 2 minutes of what happens. Girl,
Yeah,
I can't even begin to tell you everything
it's
that
a
happens
lot.
in this movie.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's something so charming about it. Like I never am like upset when I watch it.
No.
Like some bad movies, you're like, this is fun, but I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Like it's kind of charming and kind of relaxing and kind of just like chill. But there's just so many things that are interesting about it that I just think are hilarious. I do have to give two special shout outs to the two people who I personally thought had the worst accents out of everyone in the entire cast.
Please. Oh my God. Please do. Please do.
So, first, I'm going to go ahead and go in on the woman who was playing the role of the lead in The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, June. Um, don't know where she got that accent from. That one was really out of left
Crazy.
field. I really don't know what dialect coach said. That sounds great. Go on out there, girl. Second would be Pearl.
I was trying to like Pearl the whole movie. I really wanted to like Pearl.
I know, me too.
If she did something other than annoy the fucking shit out of me, I
I
might
know.
have. But
I know. I like the character, but oh my God, it was really, really, really hard to listen to.
when
And
it's
for some
there,
reason,
sometimes it's just not there.
I
And when
know.
it's not there, it's better.
And for some reason, I had in my mind that she was not from Appalachia, but that she was from the South. I was like, I feel like she was from like Atlanta or something. And then she like came
Mhm.
to film this movie and stuff. I looked her up. She's from California. So that like
Okay.
no connection. She literally just can't, I guess, can't do the accent, which is fine. I just
Fine.
don't know why that wasn't, maybe addressed before
Right. Did
being
they have
cast.
one person audition? And it was
Right.
this girl who couldn't do an accent. And yeah, get her set up beforehand. Hey, come hang out with Whoopi. She's already living out here. Come hang
Right.
out with Whoopi. She'll introduce you to people who speak that way.
Let's see. What else do I want to talk about before I dive into Elizabeth Taylor? I guess
If
just little things. I
yeah.
just have some little things. Jane Krakowski, love her. She's the
Love
love of my
her.
life. She's perfect. Love that her tits are out the whole
Always.
time.
Can I hold space for Jenna Elfman here?
Yes. Okay.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Good costumes too.
Good costumes on Jenna Elfman.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, her character is my dream. You
Mm-hmm.
get to drive around in a old van full of books and just
Mm-hmm.
honk at people until they pull over and then hand them books. And
Mm-hmm.
then also, I'm under the impression that she was not in the play that they put on because she was sitting in the audience making out with the guy the whole time, but she absolutely had her own dressing room or her own
Oh,
room
that
backstage.
was the little ticketing booth.
Okay, I was like, whatever job I have to have where I get a dressing room and then I don't have to be in the show, give me that. Give me that. My Jenna Elfman obsession, side tangent, comes from, oh, I'm gonna have us do an episode of this. Comes from a 12 episode sitcom she did on NBC called Growing Up Fisher. It's
I
the
feel like I remember that.
it is the best fucking sitcom ever made. I'll never forgive NBC for renewing About a Boy above it. About a Boy was not a good show. It was a good movie. It was not a good show. And anyway, every time I see her, I get so excited. She has the funniest fucking
I love
lines.
her. She's great.
Anything she does. Dharma and Greg, that is just not 200 episodes of the same goddamn episode over and over again. But she does great. She does
She
great.
really is fantastic. I really do love her.
Yeah.
We looked it up last night. She is not personally related to Danny Elfman, but her husband is.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And I don't know who Danny Elfman is.
I know the name. I couldn't tell you anything about him. I think he's an
apparently,
actor.
apparently he's famous.
I was
But
gonna
I've
say, I
heard the
think
name
he's an
for
older
sure.
guy actor. That is all information that I just got from the sentence you said.
Oh, okay, yeah. If
Yeah.
he's an older guy actor, then I have no
Oh,
hope
maybe
for
he's
knowing who that is.
musical, but not like gay musical, like man musical.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
He's somebody.
Somebody.
Okay, safety vest. Yes. Why are we wearing a safety vest the whole time? I really, really, really want to know. I remember that was my biggest thing, like when it came out, because I watched it when it came out, and I think I've seen it one other time, but I really was like not remembering everything. So when I watched it again last night, I was like, things were flooding back to me that like I heard people making fun of, and I remember it was the safety vest because it was like, why? Why is he always in it?
Why? Yeah, I assume it has something to do. Maybe that's why I thought he was mayor. I was like, he must have some official role that he's
Mm-hmm.
like filling in for, and that's like his gag.
Mm-hmm.
That or he like did a terrible job as a crossing guard and spends every day reliving it.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then when they go into his office and he's just drinking
Yeah,
on the job,
chilling.
cameo by Terry Kilgore, local politician in that scene.
Is that who like says something to her as she's walking in?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, rock and roll.
Yeah. But it's funny because they were like really trying to plug him there because the guy in the safety vest literally went, "Thank you, Delegate Terry Kilgore. All right. I'll see you
I
later."
okay, I do recall this.
So this has to do with the costume debacle, but I do really a big question I have for the production team is why was she in compression socks for the whole movie? I know
Was she?
she's 40, but ugh.
Was she?
The socks she was wearing, they literally looked like compression socks. They came up to her knees and they were like compression socks. Like you wear if you have like lipodema.
Maybe Ashley Judd just needed those.
Maybe. And if she
Girl,
did,
I don't know. That's a weird
sorry.
choice. They have compression socks in the 70s.
I guess. I want to say love John Benjamin Hickey. He Anna Kendrick dad.
Oh, thank you.
He gay gay person.
Is he gay in real life?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Not with that
But
haircut.
I kind of appreciated that he kind of played it straight. I think that
Yeah.
like it would have been too obvious to like do the gay voice the whole
Yeah.
time. I think that he did a really good job. Also, I literally worked with him once and he is the nice like he could not be nicer. Like he is the nicest guy. And that is not always the experience with people
No,
on
God, no.
sets. And he was so like genuinely nice. I literally almost went up to him and was like, I love your work at Big Stone Gap, but I didn't.
Wait, when did you work with him? In LA or?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he was a gem, absolute gem. And I thought he was actually really, really, really good. Like, no notes. I
Yeah.
thought he played it perfectly.
They just did his character dirty with the writing.
They did, but yeah, I just think like he's just a gem. Like he's a
Yes.
fucking gem.
He plays the role so well. It just cracked me up, the thing of him being like, all these women, I gotta blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, you like men? And he's like, well, mama, there's that too, hunty. Like
I'm girly pop.
yeah, like the next scene he comes out, like the lines he has are like so much gayer. And it's just, oh, it's so like 2016. Like he did it, everything's fixed. He doesn't even come out to everybody. He comes out to one person.
One person.
And then they're like, he's good. His journey, mama, complete.
Complete. Okay, time for a slight game. We're gonna do a trivia question. When we're on the stage at the show,
Yes.
and there's the cast is, there.
Yes.
Do you want to guess how many people on that stage I have kissed?
6.
No, just one.
Oh.
I knew you were gonna guess high because you think I'm a slut. And on a similar note, when Jenna Elfman says something about she's like, he's not just someone I want to take to the high knob. So high knob is
Uh-huh.
our cruising spot.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. So that was
that's
a
a good
fun
name
little
for a
nod.
cruising spot too.
I know, and that's the official like state park name is High Knob.
And most cruisers are high and looking for a knob.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. A lot of things have happened to me at High Knob. Um, I I did cruise, and one time, and so a Fritos bag.
I remember that. Wait, okay, hang on. I have questions.
Yeah,
Not about I'm in the loop on both those. Are there lady cruisers at High Knob?
I cruised with the boy.
Define cruising to me really quick.
We
Like
just
tell
made
me.
out.
Okay.
So a lot
Do
of times
you
we would call it cruising in not the
Okay.
way that gay men call it cruising.
Okay. Yeah, that's some weak sauce. Okay, that
No, I
makes
know it
sense.
is.
It's a
I
neck
forgot.
and spot. It's a makeout
Sorry,
point.
I forgot that you're a gay man for a second.
You said cruising, and I said, oh, four dicks in the ass grabbing the ankles in the woods.
No, we're not doing wood boogers out there.
Oh my god, full circle.
Full circle. Okay. Another thing. There are at least two moments in this movie where there is ADR from the crowd. We don't see who's saying it. We
Nope.
don't we don't we don't see it. That's how I know it's ADR and it sounds like ADR. And they just say the most outlandish fucking things.
It absolutely had to be more than twice.
There's twice that I like made a note of,
Okay.
mental note of. There, it might have been more, but like at the play when they're like thanking her and they're like, she don't got a man. I know she's
Oh
never
yeah.
gonna have a man. Well, I was like, okay, first of all, when people like exclaim things, it's like usually kind of over top of each other, not like
Yeah.
one at a time in perfect succession. Very strange vibes. Okay, last note I have to say is I'm obsessed, actually genuinely obsessed with the fact that we're supposed to believe a human being can sleep that long.
Okay, so she passes out and then wakes up like 30 years later. I'm a little bit blurry on that
Like
part.
it's at least 3 days later because Jenna Elfman has like 3 outfit changes, which I would assume is supposed to tell us it's a new day.
If it was anyone but Jenna Elfman, I would be on board. Maybe she was just serving.
She was just
No,
serving.
that's crazy. I will be honest, I kind of zoned out at that point in the film, but
Mm-hmm.
then like Ashley Judd walked into the room and I was like, did she just wake up?
Yeah.
It's been like
She had like a
weeks.
vision too. She had like a vision of her dad.
That was so weird.
It
That
was really weird. Really, really weird.
and she
Yeah.
did pass out just like on account of being a woman on the verge, right? Like there was no like actual reason she passed out.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
It was literally the doctor said it's what we call a good old fashioned nervous breakdown.
Oh my god. I wish I passed out for 3 days when I had my nervous breakdowns. What a
Me
treat.
too.
Get fucked,
Instead, you
Ashley
threw
Judd.
up.
Instead, I threw up. Instead, I throwed up.
Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any statements? Do you have any overarching things to say before we briefly talk about Mrs. Elizabeth Taylor?
I try not to do this with what all we cover because it would be too extensive, but I do have just a couple quotes that really make this movie that I
Mm-hmm.
do want to share.
Okay.
First of all, there is a scene. I entirely forget what's happening, but I think Pearl and Ashley Judd are doing something in the pharmacy, and Whoopi Goldberg is having a whole conversation to no one. They have
Mm-hmm.
stopped acknowledging Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg just goes, history tells us that Cleopatra was a black woman. And there's no response. There's no like acknowledgement. It's just like Whoopi Goldberg just like throwing it into the world. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Well, she had to. She had
yeah,
to.
that I wish Whoopi Goldberg is like there the whole movie. She just like is there being Whoopi Goldberg. Other lines that fucking eat in this
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Lay 'em
I'm
on
doing
me.
the best I can. You could put a broom up my ass and I would sweep the floor at the same time.
That eats.
That you could put a broom up my ass and I'd sweep the floor at the same time.
Yum.
Absolutely using that.
Slurp that shit up.
Like that would be a compliment though. I would use that to like describe someone. I would be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you could shove a broom up her ass and she'd sweep the floor at the same time.
Absolutely.
Compliment.
Would you say that about me?
Yes. I think final quote, and this is just one that would absolutely put me in my grave. I
Mm-hmm.
would be dead. I would not come back from this. Sexy guy who I never think is sexy, and then he's sexy.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson looks at Ashley Judd and he goes, you know, for someone who claims to not have a lot of feelings, you sure do talk about them a lot. By the way, this is after they have fallen in love.
Oh, diva slay.
I know. Second movie, it's just double jeopardy with Ashley Judd
Yeah.
after she fucking kills him for saying that shit. That's
Yeah.
vile. But anyway, a very quotable movie.
Mm-hmm.
There, Whoopi is nonstop quotable and
Mm-hmm.
just nonstop serving.
Yeah.
Okay, when the coal mine blew up,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, jump scare.
Jump scare for real.
It's in the middle of a scene, and then there's a coal mine explosion, which I imagine is par for the course and very jarring.
Mm-hmm.
But God, give a bitch a heads up. Just have Katniss like run by in the background or something. Let me know that the coal mine's gonna explode because that scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But then all I could think of is editing that scene to have the explosion be Whoopi Goldberg when she farted on The View.
Fuck. Wrap that back up and put it back where you found it. I don't like it. Oh my God.
Whoopi Goldberg
Now I
farting
want to
on The
make
View.
it. I kind of
Do
want to
it.
make that edit
Make the edit, mama.
for all the big stone gap heads out there.
Let me hear the big stoners make some noise.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, I think that's about all the notes I got. I mean, love
Mhm.
the white savior storyline.
I also, no shade to Pearl. I think it was really sweet that she got the pharmacy and, to take care of her mom. Her mom got new teeth. But if I was a Whoopi, I would be really pissed because a Whoopi worked in that pharmacy since Ave was a child.
Yeah.
So why didn't she get it? I know she gave her a large sum of money to basically be like, this girl's going to run the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have been like, but why can't I own it? Because I actually know what's going on here.
My thing is, okay, she just gave her a pharmacy. Very kind, but no one asked. She never was like, do you want to own a pharmacy?
Yeah.
Hey, are you ready to take on the burden of owning a business?
Responsibility.
I would
also,
again
she's a
be
teenager.
Pissed. She's a teenager.
Whoopi is a full-grown woman who's been running this business with you and your family since you were born.
Yeah.
Not since you were born. She's not that much older than her, but you know what I mean. Like,
I think so, maybe.
Yeah.
20s? Absolutely. Whoopi could have been running that shit. Oh. Patrick Wilson coming in while everyone is sleeping and kissing Ashley Judd on the forehead and then leaving the house and everyone being like, oh my God, that was so cute. Hey, you can shoot him for that. You can shoot him between the eyes for that in Big Stone Gap and no one will ask a second question. That's fucking insane, Patrick Wilson. You're fine as hell. I would be pissed if you did that to me, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, especially considering like where they were at that moment when she did have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
It's not like they were together.
No, it's very creepy. It's very self-serving. Creepy. That, anyway, okay, now I will shut the fuck up. But that was so creepy and so gross. And so, even in like 2014 times, I feel like we were past that as a trope.
We should have been.
That was wild. Patrick, you can't do that. And I've let you get away.
You can't do that.
No, I've let him get away with so much. I mean, the Conjuring movies, the shit he pulled in those, I was fine with. This was where I drew the line. I can excuse demonic exorcisms, but I draw the line at kissing someone while they sleep.
I was hoping you would quote that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay.
So before we wrap up. This is
crazy. This what we're going into is fucking crazy.
Before we wrap up, I think we have to talk about the most important part, which is the Elizabeth Taylor of it all. So I have a few articles that we will link below. And so if you want to read those with the movie, go for it. I actually was able to find the original article from 1978. You do have to have a Washington Post subscription with which I don't have.
Isn't Washington Post free?
I don't think so.
Democracy dies in darkness, baby.
Democracy Dies in Darkness, but they
I do
won't
their
give it
crossword
to me
every
for free.
day.
Okay, well, I
Anyway.
could view it on one tab, but I couldn't view it on another tab. So like I think you can view like one.
Oh, got it.
And then I don't know if you can. So I don't know. You might be able to read it. You might
We'll
not.
link it. You
We'll
just
link
might be
it.
too poor to do anything with it.
Exactly, but we'll link it. So this movie is not largely autobiographical of anyone. It is, based on little bits and pieces of Adriana Trigiani's life growing up in Big Stone Gap, but it's not like her story. It's not like a friend's story. However, there is an element that absolutely did happen.
So true. Ripped from the history books.
So true, bestie. Which is that Elizabeth Taylor did, in fact, visit Wise County in 1978. And she did, in fact, choke on a chicken bone, a fried chicken bone to be exact. And she was rushed to Lonesome Pine Memorial Hospital, Regional Hospital, Lonesome Pine Regional Hospital. And there, this doctor named Patel was able to just kind of put a tube down her throat, dislodge it a little bit. But he also noticed while she was there, like, hey, girl, I don't think your health is that good at this particular moment. And I think that kind of was, I don't know like all the facts. So I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on this event, but I do think that was sort of a catalyst for like she was in and out of the hospital from there. She just had a lot of things happen to her and her health started declining from there. But she did, in fact, choke on a chicken bone in Wise County in Big Stone Gap.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was true until today when I was like, who played Elizabeth Taylor? Like, I just want to see who played Elizabeth Taylor in this movie. Who would play her? Yeah, who would play her? Because in the movie, you don't see her face. Like, the whole bit is like, it's Elizabeth Taylor's back, stuff like that. So I just looked up Elizabeth Taylor Big Stone Gap because I was like, who plays her?
Yeah.
That's not what I got. I got a bunch of articles about this shit actually happening. Now, I don't want to victim blame her, but it sounds like she tried to swallow a whole chicken wing.
I think like she was unaware
of the bone.
It felt very like she probably hadn't had a lot of fried chicken in her life, which I wouldn't expect you to if you're not from the South. But at the same time, like everybody eats chicken.
Also, fried chicken
not everybody.
So good.
I literally just started eating it again. But
pescatarians make some noise.
But like everyone in the world, like all places of the world, eat chicken on the bone. Like that's not a Southern thing.
No, like the bone's there. That reading about it, I was like, it was 2 inches. How'd that get in there? Asked myself that question before.
Yeah. And so I think it was like her just kind of, it happened, but also because of whatever weird thing that the doctor found in her esophagus anyway, I think that made her more prone to it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that did.
She'd just been swallowing chicken wings her whole life.
She's
something went wrong with her throat and the bone got cut. And
Elizabeth Taylor swallows for sure.
She insisted on swallowing the bone when they removed it because she said, quote, spitters are quitters.
Exactly. This woman her name is Lisa, and she has this little history blog and she wrote about it. And so I'll just read you guys kind of her recount of the event that took place.
Please.
Later that evening, John and Elizabeth, if you didn't know, she was there with John Warner, who was on his campaign rally. He was running for senator, I think. Office? Okay. He was running for something.
That was a joke, girl.
Oh.
Office isn't an actual position. It's a generic term. I was just trying to give you a blanket word.
I just was like, every time someone says something like that and it's a joke, I always am like, I guess I'm just dumb. I don't really know. So then I was like, okay, fierce office. No, that makes sense. I know office is not an actual position, guys. Don't come for me. What was he running for? He was running For
Miss America.
Senate. Senate. Later that evening, John and Elizabeth stopped for a chicken dinner at Fraley's Coach House. Let's note, Fraley's Coach House don't exist no more, so
Shut down.
shut down. Where Elizabeth took a bite of fried chicken breast and accidentally swallowed a 2.5-inch bone.
Oh,
The bone
breast.
lodged in her throat. She clutched her neck, barely able to breathe. She tried to cough it up, but in vain. She stuffed some rolls into her mouth to try to push the bone down her throat, but it didn't work. It was clear she was choking to death. She was
Me on death's doorstep, frantically shoveling bread into my mouth. Same.
sorry, Elizabeth Taylor, if you're listening.
Hey, this isn't what got her. We are free to
really
joke. This is
funny.
like Tommy Tipton falling out of the fucking tree. She's
I
fine.
just
We can
can't
laugh.
believe she started stuffing rolls in her mouth. Sorry, that's so funny to me. Okay.
The article I read referred to it as soft bread.
She was rushed to Lonesome Pine Hospital, where a thoracic surgeon inserted a rubber hose down her throat and stuffed the bone down where it dissolved in digestion. She was overnight in the hospital. The next day, she made the headlines. Actress nearly chokes at campaign rally.
Elizabeth, girl.
Girl, I'm sorry. That shit is crazy. And I want to do an entire episode just on the event of her, like from beginning to end, her coming to
Yes.
Big Stone Gap,
Yes.
choking on chicken.
Absolutely. Girl, Elizabeth Taylor choking the chicken live.
Like that is so wild. And at the end of the day, that is my favorite part about this movie is that it showcases that moment in history. This is my Forrest Gump.
I love that. Okay, the question I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your answer might be this. It might be something you can't say. It might be a third thing I haven't guessed yet.
Okay.
If you were to make a movie about your hometown, what would be the event like this? Like the event that like, this is what we're known, like this is what people come for.
That's good. That's a good one.
Because I love hometown shit like this. Just like dumb fucking shit that's happened in your hometown. Let us know what yours would be below.
Let us know what
this
yours
shit
would be.
is my favorite.
I'm trying to think because there's like obviously a big one for me that happened in my family, but that was before I was born.
Yes.
If you know, you know. We're not going into it.
If you know, you know is crazy.
If you know, you know. IYKYK.
I think for me, okay. So I grew up in a ski resort. So there are a lot of Olympians. Mm-hmm. Like I was on like a youth leadership board with like 3 of their moms. Like, so I feel like that would absolutely be there. CeeLo Green came and performed one time and it was so cold and he was so sweaty that his head was steaming the whole time. It looked like he had Ursula hair. That was crazy. Oh my God. The kid from Heaven is for Real. They moved to our town and he crashed his car. That's kind of it.
Is he still with us?
He never fucking left, girl. That bitch never went to heaven. He went to heaven, came down and said, that white man is Jesus.
Okay, wait. I thought of one. This is not in my lifetime, but if I was like making a period piece about Coburn, my uncle and my mom and a lot of kids in town. So there's like nothing in Coburn. Like there's only a couple restaurants. Like there's a Dollar General, 25, 30 minutes to the nearest Walmart. Yeah. We have a Hardee's. Anyway, in the 80s, I believe it was, a Long John Silver's opened in Coburn.
Ooh, okay.
And the entire town had a parade.
For the Long John Silver's?
Mm-hmm. It's still there.
Was it one of the hybrid ones that was also a Taco Bell, or was it just the Long John Silver's?
Just Long John Silver's.
And that had a parade?
The whole town had a parade. And my mom and my uncle were like, what are they called? Like the parade masters? What are they? Like the ones who lead the parade.
Yeah, the line leaders.
I don't know. They have a name, I feel like, but I don't know.
They absolutely do. I love that. If I was doing that, I would absolutely hold the reveal that it's for Long John Silver's until the end. I would open on this big parade.
Yep.
have everyone going crazy. And then at the end, it would be like them cutting the ribbon on Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever had Long John Silver's?
No. Okay. So I had one of the hybrid ones. It was also a Taco Bell. So I absolutely did because I love shrimp. I probably had some of their
Mm-hmm.
shrimp shit. Looking back, I would never do fast food seafood. That scares the
It's so good
shit
though.
out of me.
It's so good.
But I definitely did that. I have a very clear memory of getting whatever their kids' meal was with like
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff in it.
Yep.
And then also getting the Taco Bell cinnamon twists. So like wrapping
I've
it up
never
with that.
seen one with a Taco Bell. We always had
Mm.
like I remember like 2 hours away because we would always go when we were like going on bus trips to like drama competitions and stuff. There was a Kentucky Fried Chicken and a
Okay.
Taco Bell. So the Kentucky Fried Taco Bell.
I think I've seen merged KFCs and Long John Silver's too. So they're like a thruple. Oh my god,
Whoa, they're a
thruple.
thruple. Wow,
That's
that's
so cute.
crazy.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Well, guys, this has been something. Shall we do a quick marketable trait?
Yes, let me get this bitch pulled up because I
Get this
forgot.
bitch pulled up, why don't you?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Marketable Traits. This is a segment where you can submit your red flags, your unhealthy habits, your problematic faves, anything like that that doesn't cast you in a great light. You can submit them. And instead of letting, letting yourself do the work on it, we'll make the call. We'll just make it a positive.
Yep.
So, for example, on this one, we have someone submitted their red flag as asking an incessant amount of questions to understand every little detail of every part of a story someone is telling me. So,
Ooh, okay.
yeah. By the way,
Okay.
I know who submitted this one because it's one of my friends and we're maintaining anonymity. But when my relationship ended, I did have to call this person and say, okay, we broke up. I'm going to tell you everything that happens and you get 3 questions. And then I'm done
Okay.
talking about it.
Okay.
Like I do have to set question limits with this
Mm-hmm.
person when I am sharing news with them. So I will say it is absolutely a red flag, but let's make it a positive.
But let's make it a positive. Because I can't think of anyone in my life who does that.
Okay. I will say it demonstrates obviously a amount of care that is very
Mm-hmm.
sweet, very cute, very nice, and then
Yes.
gets very old very quick, at least for me. It shows, obviously, in a business sense, opportunity to understand a full, well rounded,
Mm-hmm.
Argument situation approach, ensure that
Mm-hmm.
all stakeholders are considered. I think I said that last time too, but you are considering all stakeholders when you're asking these questions.
No, absolutely. And I will say, like, you're really getting in those KPIs, those deliverables. They're really coming through because you are you are creating every single possible question that you could probably have. So if we're thinking about those questions like content,
Mm-hmm.
let's reframe it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Let's put those questions into something positive that you can make for yourself. So when you have the need to ask a question, maybe that's an Instagram story. Maybe that's a vlog on your close friend's story. Maybe that's a post, a grid post, even.
Oh, mama, it's content.
Maybe it's just having a conversation with someone in real life without asking questions. You know what I mean? Like every time you have the urge to ask yet another question, maybe just reframe it, rebrand it yourself. We're rebranding
Ooh,
you right now. Just
I love that.
rebrand that little part of you that needs to ask all these questions. And also, I think about why you need to ask these questions and get to the bottom of that one. Because,
For
Mama,
this
that
person
one will help
specifically,
you.
it's control based. Sorry. I mean, yeah, ask yourself those questions. Don't
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, control is, sometimes bad, but
sometimes good.
you have strong leadership skills.
Yes,
Oh, when you think of every possible thing that could go wrong, every
truly.
like you would be a really good project manager, I think, or a really good like coordinator because you do think of every single little thing.
But no, it demonstrates a level of care and understanding
Mm-hmm.
that I could personally not imagine having in something like in
Okay.
someone's boring ass story. So I think that's very sweet. Regardless, you got what it takes. You got the care, you got the consideration. I like the rebrand. Let's make it
Yeah,
content.
let's let's make it content. Let's make it, and by content, I mean it can either be actual content, like I said, it could be if that's the route you're trying to go, or it can just be something else, you know, it can
Yes.
be personal content. Instead of
Yes.
asking a question, maybe think of something you really want to say.
Ooh. Oh, that's like fill silence in alternate ways.
Yeah, like know that you don't always have to fill a silence, but know that you don't always have to ask a question. You can also make statements.
That's a lot of what we do.
Yeah, we make
And
a
it
lot of
works
statements
great.
at each other.
Statement, statement, statement.
Statement. And then, Diva, Diva, that's so funny,
Diva,
Diva.
mama.
Mama, that's so funny,
Bert
Mama.
states.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
There were some big gaps in that stone, but you bet we filled them, mama.
We filled them, Mama, and you should too. Go rent Big Stone Gap and support Big Stone Gap VA by buying the movie on Amazon. I don't really know if that money still goes to Big Stone Gap, but
It's either going to Big Stone Gap or Whoopi Goldberg.
one of the two. So
One
either
of the
way,
two.
you're supporting a good cause.
What does Trish say? Thank you to
Um,
Crush.
thank you to
Okay. Okay. Okay.
thank you to Rick Moranis. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to Whoopi Goldberg and kisses to my little baby fishes. Wait,
Kissies
hang
to
on,
my little
hang
baby
on,
fishies.
hang on. I heard it. I heard it.
Kissies.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you to Whoopi Goldberg and kisses to my little baby fishies.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, leave me alone. Blowing up my phone. This bitch won't leave me alone. She keeps calling me.
Oh my God.
It's my mom.
Oh.
Love you, mom.